Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes, today I have decided to transmit from my bedroom, my secret space. The energy here in this place is my personal energy, and the frequency here is much better today for this transmission coming through. So I figured I would do it from here, trying to change it up a little bit. And I really do love being in this space. So thank you to those of you who are new subscribers. I'm so excited to have you join my channel. I'm so appreciative to everybody, all of the subscribers that I have, those of you that are supporting my work. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, because you actually motivate me to keep making videos. Because trust me, in these higher light energies, I just want to be in flow in every minute. I want to sit in my sacred space and create, because the desk that I'm recording this on is actually my art desk for my mini art studio. Yes, it's in my bedroom because I don't really have a space in my house that I can do my artwork from. So I record from here. So I'm on my art desk now. But you know, in these higher energies, I just want to be. I don't want to do anything. I just want to just sit and bask in the energies when I'm not doing client sessions or I'm not doing my class, and just be in these higher frequencies because they feel so amazing. And it is such great energy for creation. And speaking of creation, I was so excited to get my package today from Julie of Moonstone Creations, Julie. And this goodie box came with 2 dishes that I had ordered from Julie, because I love to support people who are creating in their higher states of consciousness, and Julie is definitely doing that. Plus, I love to support those that are actively participating in my community with the creations that they're offering. This is an amethyst dish. It actually has a beautiful amethyst stone in this dish. And the other dish that I had gotten is this beautiful sun dish. I don't know if you could see the color in the light up here is a little bit wonky, but the thing I love about Julie is like each dish is signed by her. So these goodies are just so exciting to receive. So I got this package today and I just wanted to share it with you. People are doing amazing, amazing things. And that is what our community, our gathering is about. The Ascension Alchemy Mastery School is about community and co-sharing, because this is where we're headed in the 5th dimensional consciousness. Okay. And this is the way of the future, 5D and higher. All right. So exciting to me to be able to offer this. Now, let's get into our topic for today, because I wanted to talk about letting go and using our energy wisely, because many don't really understand what that means. So, you know, when we grew up in times where the work required that we go back into our past and dig deep and keep digging and bring everything up that we could possibly bring up, so that we could tear it apart and see what it looked like, and you know, have an opportunity for a deep dive to see maybe where we went wrong, or what transpired, or you know, where we have to work to fix whatever is not working in our lives. And that's no longer what we want to do. In this higher energy, we want to just let go. We want to go back and see what took place, but we don't want to hash it out. So in other words, if we had an experience as a 5-year-old, and that experience from being 5 has created an emotional imprint in our electromagnetic field and makes us sad when we think about it, or perhaps triggers us when we experience something, no matter what it is, even if we don't experience it as an experience, but we experience it as an awareness through a visual, seeing it on a TV show, or somebody transacting it in front of us. And it triggers us and makes us think about that time. And then, of course, the next thing you know, our mind is often running and we're angry or frustrated or whatever the emotion is. We feel outside of ourselves. Okay. And so in the past, we would have had to do a deep dive, but we don't do that anymore. And the reason for that is because that is an emotional imprint in our electromagnetic field. That time when we were 5 years old represents a timeline that's in our field. And that timeline is what we're trying to shed out as we're letting go of 3D. See, the whole idea of stepping up into fifth dimensional consciousness and higher is that when we hit 5D, we're going through some things called template wipes, okay? And when we go through a template wipe can feel very unnerving, because when we go through a template wipe, we lose our memory. We will lose our memory to our childhood, to things that we did yesterday. If you ask me what I ate yesterday, I can't really remember. I don't have recall of my childhood. I have forgotten most of it. I stay in the moment of being in the moment, and I am in a present state of awareness 24/7, because this is how I operate. So when we have a template wipe, we can also forget that a spoon is called a spoon. We forget words. We forget, there was a day I forgot how to open the back of my Jeep. I couldn't remember where the place was that I was supposed to put my hand to pull open the hatchback of the Jeep. I couldn't remember that. And I stood there looking at it for 10 minutes thinking, I know there's a way to open this, but I don't know how. And then finally it came back to me on an intuitive level. Oh, I think it's over here. And I was able to open my Jeep. That's a template wipe. And when we have a template wipe, they can take us offline for a period of times. The first one I had that was very significant took me down for 3 months back in October 2015. I've talked about that in prior videos just recently, so please go back and check them out. I don't want to rehash it again here, but it's very important to have an awareness that template wipes will take us offline, and it wipes away those old 3D matrix timelines so that we're not really remembering them anymore. Because the key to fifth dimensional consciousness is to operating from an intuitive perspective, right? From a higher state of consciousness. And that is the point of 5D. So if we're in those old stories and those old memories, rehashing them over and over and over, that's the ego. Ego wants us to stay stuck. It wants us to stay in the game of separation. It wants us to make something more out of the experience that we had. It was an experience. Everything that we are doing in this life, in this incarnation, is an experience. How we're choosing to have that experience is up to us. We can either choose to make it something more than the experience it was meant to be, which in other words means if it wasn't a great experience, we can make it something more, and we can really drive it into the depths so that we hit despair, frustration, anger, and a whole host of other things. Or we could see it as something that our soul needed to experience, and we had the experience, and we thank the experience for what it gave us, for what it offered us, and then we keep it moving because we know that that was just one experience on the pathway of this lifetime, and we don't have to get stuck in it, and we don't have to get fixated in it. Now, that can go much, much deeper, which I don't want to do right here and right now, because I do want to talk about using our energy in this. So we could use a whole lot of energy in sitting in this distortion, whatever it was, right? Let's say it is that 5-year-old perspective from when we were 5 and we felt wounded by something, and we hold on to that memory. And the way that we picture it, or the way that we see it, is with that 5-year-old's mentality. We see it with that 5-year-old's understanding of life. In other words, if you took that experience into the now and looked at it from the age that you are now, or the perspective you are now, you might see it from a different point of view, and you might not look at it the same way. However, because it is an imprint in your electromagnetic field, you are probably going to pull it up to look at it in its original state of being, which means that the emotion that's tied to that imprint in your field is the imprint from that 5-year-old's mind. And that 5-year-old can see it only one way, through the hurt from the wounding that transpired at the time. Okay, so using our energy wisely, which would mean that we look at that situation from that 5-year-old's memory and understand that we perceived it in a very big way as a 5-year-old, because that's all we knew as a 5-year-old. But if we look at it now in this higher timeline, we can see how we do not have to let that experience define us anymore. And in choosing not to let that experience define us, we can then let it go from our electromagnetic field. So in other words, we're releasing the imprint that has been keeping us an emotional hostage all of these years, to finally let it go, recognizing we never had to hold on to it in the first place. We were holding on to it through a 5-year-old set of eyes, a 5-year-old's memory, a 5-year-old's emotional body. And now as we look at it, we could say that's has no relevance anymore at all. It was just merely an experience that we had. Okay, so this is where we can step into the higher perspective, and we can release, let go, right? I don't like the word release. You almost never hear me say it, but I know some of you are used to hearing that word, right? Releasing it from the field. I like the word letting go, because for me, the word release means that we're actually not releasing it. We're not letting it go, because we are releasing. So we're reattaching, retethering, rebinding it to ourselves. And so we don't want to do that. So we want to let it go and just not look at it anymore. Not know that we don't need to do that, because it's not serving a purpose for us, because we're seeing it from a higher perspective. This is the work. It's so important, okay? It's really critical to use our energy in all new ways, so that we are free and clear to anchor in these new higher aligned frequencies that are coming in. And why is it so important to do this now? Because the energies that are coming in are super duper high, and we want to make sure that we are ready for them, that our field is ready to accept them. Okay, we have to let go of the distortion that we're holding from the 3D matrix in our field as these timeline imprints, so that we can bring in new light. And that new light cannot come in and fill our field so that we can connect more to our higher self if we're still filled up with those old timelines, with those old imprints. For every situation in our life that occurred that was a memory, either good or bad, we imprint that memory in our field. Those are timelines. Okay, so letting go and choosing a new timeline is as simple as saying, I'm not going to choose that anymore. Now, from the next highest perspective, because you know how we do, right? We like to go to 50,000 feet, and this is the higher self. This is playing in 9D right now, because we're looking at this from the perspective that we are the creator of all of it. All of it is us. We've created all of it. So we have to change how we're playing in it. Okay, so from the highest perspective, if we're looking at it from that highest perspective and seeing that we are the creator of all of it, then we're going to look at this and see that in each moment we can choose the timeline that we want to play in. So in other words, if something is not suiting your needs, let's say there is someone in your life that every time they are presenting and every time you are meeting for lunch or dinner or to go to an event together, whatever it is, right? And they are someone that wants to control how it happens, when it happens, how you go, and all of that. And that feels like a challenge to you, then that person is not in vibrational alignment with you. Okay, so this is where you get to say, this does not feel good to me. The only reason I might be engaging in this situation with this individual is because I'm not feeling enough by myself. Let me take a look at that and see that I don't have to play into that state of mind where I feel like I'm not enough. I'm enough by myself. The minute you have that awareness that you are enough by yourself, guess what? That person doesn't have to play that role anymore. That soul does not have to show up in that way that was controlling, that was forcing you to stand in your power, because this is how it works. Okay, in each moment, we're choosing the timeline experience where we want to have. So if something is showing up for you and it's not showing up the way that you want it, look at what you're allowing in your life. Look at how you're willing to be, engaged in the process of what is unfolding for you, because from the point of creation, you are the creator of all of it. All right. This is very important to remember. And even the stuff that happened in the 3D timeline when we were young, we still created all of that. We created it in a different way. It was through maybe a lack of awareness because we weren't in these higher states of being. We weren't in these higher states of consciousness. But now we don't have to play like that. We can play in the higher states of consciousness and say, oh, I don't love what's showing up for me. Let me shift me so that the next time it shows up, it could show up more in alignment with what I want, because it's me that has to change. It's me that has to stand up for myself. It's me that has to keep shifting, that has to hold the expectation for that higher alignment to show up for myself. Okay, because it's always us. It's from the point of our creation. Do you see? So we can choose timelines very, very easily by just letting go of what is no longer in alignment with us and choosing what is in alignment with us. And it's okay to separate or distance from something that is not working for you until you can bring yourself into a higher state of alignment, and then go back and see if whatever it was that you had to let go of is now in better alignment for you. And you might find that that is, because the more we're doing our work and the more we're willing to step up into higher states of our own consciousness, other things around us are going to seem seamless. They're going to seem super duper easy. Okay. Everything is us. So I want you to keep this in mind as we're going through these next couple of months. September and October are going to get a little cranky out there. I know that they're feeling challenging now, and I know a lot of people are having, a lot of frustration, or feeling a lot of frustration, or are angry. But there's more to come. Unfortunately, on a global level, what we're seeing playing out is going to start imploding, and those people that are still playing the game of unconsciousness in the third dimension are going to have to make a choice. Are they going to want to see what they have been ignoring, what they have not wanted to see, by avoiding it, by putting their head in the sand? Or are they going to step up and now take a look and see what is presenting? Remember one thing here, no matter how this goes, we are going to come out on top of the world. We are going to come out ahead. The best is yet to come. I can't stress that enough. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Yes, it is going to be uncomfortable. Nothing worthwhile is easy. Remember that. We have to stretch ourselves. We have to grow here. Okay, this is all us. We're the ones that are recreating our reality, that are changing the reality. the reality that we have just allowed ourselves to play in, the one that we've given our power away to, is no longer being supported by these higher frequencies. So we're having to make a choice. Do we step up, or do we keep playing it the old way and go down with the ship? Because that's eventually what's going to happen, because this new Earth experience of 5D plus cannot hold those lower frequencies. So if you're trying to come to 5D with a 3D frequency, it's not going to happen. You're going to find yourself in a bit of trouble. All right. So this is where we have to really be smart. We have to look at it from everything that we're creating. Don't let yourself get stressed about it. Don't let yourself get frustrated, emotional. See everything from the point of your creation. What you don't have control over, let go. There's no need for you to control it. If somebody is doing something that you don't like and it's not directly impacting you or affecting you, let it go. That's their choice. That is their soul's mission, right? Each soul comes here with a blueprint, with soul contracts, soul agreements for what they're here to experience. What another is doing on their journey is none of our business, just like it's none of their business what we're doing on our journey. Okay. What's very, very important to remember is that through this process, some souls are going to be playing the part of the lower distortion. They've chosen to come here and do that. So they're going to play the very challenging, difficult, mean, maniacal, malicious roles. And that's what they're doing as a gift to those of us that are choosing to do our ascension now. Okay. Some are coming as bystanders, as like movie extras. They have absolutely nothing to do with the ascension process whatsoever. They're just like fillers. Okay. You've heard me talk about this before. See this as the reality. Every single soul, I don't care who it is, every single soul has a purpose here. Stop looking at it in judgment and thinking this person has to do this, that person has to do that, because some people are here to be the contrast so that we can see the light. Okay, that's very important to remember. All right, so I don't want this video to go too long. I'm going to end it here. Drop a message in the comment. Let me know how you guys are doing, because I want to know that that you're doing good, and let me know if this message is resonating with you through a thumbs up. If you like it, share it. If other people are struggling, as always, please share the messages. When we're sharing, we're doing our soul's work to uplift others and impart to others. And you know, these YouTubes that I make, these videos that I make, I don't charge for them. They are free. So please feel free to share them with others if you find somebody that's struggling that could really benefit from using this message, or hearing this message rather. So until we meet again next time, if there's something that you'd like to hear me do a talk on, please drop it in the comments below. I'd certainly love to be able to support you in whatever way I can. I think that's it. So know that I love you so very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, whatever it is that you are doing. And I look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Have a wonderful day or night or afternoon, wherever you are. I love you. Bye-bye.